Reliability is one of the six pillars in AWS well-architected framework that you should be comfortable and well-versed with if you're preparing for any AWS jobs, be it architect or cloud engineer or solution architect or anyone working on AWS. Or even if you're preparing for AWS Solution Architect Associate Certification or Professional Certification, you should be well-versed with this. So this is what we're going to cover in part 3 of a 6-part video series where we're talking about all the six pillars. Just to give a little bit background, the clip that you are going to see is taken from our job-oriented program. So you might hear some references, and our expert, she's going to talk about all these pillars, or say, or a third pillar, which is a reliability pillar. And towards end, I'm going to invite you for a free class where we take you from a complete journey from a complete beginner or someone already working, then how to get a high-paying job, the three-step framework, as well as all the hands-on lab and the project work you should be performing to become an expert. So let's first look at the reliability pillar.
The reliability means although your solution is secure, but if your customer is not able to rely on your solution, that means if your solution or application that you have hosted, it should be able to avoid the failure, and even if the failure occurs, the system should be able to recover from it. That is known as the reliability of the system. First of all, it should not fail. If in worst scenario it fails, you should be able to recover from that particular failure as soon as possible. This is the parameter of reliability. It should not fail, and if fails, then it should be able to recover. And when the recovery occurs, there are two things which are considered. One is the time taken to recover. How much time have you taken to recover? And second is data loss which occurred. During this failure, when you were recovering, what amount of data was lost? These are the two things. It is known as RTO, recovery time objective, and this is RPO, recovery point objective. How much time did you took to recover, and what much data was lost? How much data was lost while you were trying to recover? This will define the reliability of your solution. The reliability is quantified in terms of percentage. What was the uptime of your application? 99.99% uptime is what Amazon guarantees. Usually we are able to achieve 95.6, 95.7% uptime in our traditional data centers. When we are working in our traditional data centers, this is the uptimes that we are usually able to get. But with cloud, Amazon gives it that his infrastructure will be 99.99% reliable. So your reliability pillar talks about creating a reliable solution for your customer. And reliability means it should not fail, and if fails, it should be able to recover. So there are various tools which we can have. So we can configure a fault tolerant environment, or we can configure a highly available environment. Highly available means you can use load balancers. Load balancers could be elastic load balancers, or it could be load balancing of your traffic via Route 53. In elastic load balancer, we have seen that there are multiple servers behind the load balancer, and the traffic is getting distributed between them. If one of the machine fails, rest three are operational and are still serving the user. That is what an elastic load balancer is. I can achieve the same kind of load balancing on Route 53 also, where your elastic load balancer was capable of load balancing the traffic where the machines are belonging to the same VPC. That means to the same region. Whereas with Route 53, I can do the load balancing on cross region basis. That means if I have got a load balancer which has got two EC2 instances deployed behind it, which is in Mumbai region, and I have got another load balancer in North Virginia region, again which has got two EC2 instances deployed behind it with Route 53 weighted routing policy. I can assign 50% weight to Mumbai LB and 50% weight to NVELB. So all the traffic which is coming to my website www.xyz.com can be distributed or load balanced between these two elastic load balancers, or by using failover load balancing, failover routing policy, I can make this site as primary where all my traffic is getting delivered to Mumbai location, and if in case my Mumbai location goes down, so it is like 100% traffic is coming to Mumbai in failover. But if the Mumbai site goes down, then the traffic will fail over to North Virginia location because I will declare it as secondary location. So primarily the traffic will come here. If the primary location fails, the traffic will be routed to the secondary location. So this is how we can configure reliability by deploying various services of Amazon. You should always, to to keep the reliability on, you should always set up KPIs for your infrastructure. KPI means key performance indicators, because the KPI of every person is different. Like if I talk about in layman terms, the KPI of a chef is to make good food, whereas the KPI for a cleaning boy is to maintain the cleanliness in the office. The KPI of an engineer is to deploy a solution. The KPI of the storage is how fast you can write the data and can read the data from the storage. Like this, everything has got different KPIs. The performance metrics which are required to be monitored so as to identify whether the said resource is performing well or not is known as a KPI. So you should always have a KPI monitoring installed, and if any resource or any infrastructure resource is showing deviation in the KPI, like you are able to see that the response time of your things are going low, so you should track these KPIs and should enable the notification. Like I have enabled it for my compute optimizer, from my compute optimizer, so that even before the failure occurs, you should have an alert configured for yourself. You should consider scaling, right? You should be considering horizontal auto scaling, so that if the load increases on the system, your system should not fail. I said no, the first of all, the system should not fail, and if it fails, then you should be able to recover. So that clearly means that you should configure the backup policies, you should configure the backup infrastructure, and you should do the data backups also, so that if failure occurs, then you should be able to recover from that failure. So these are the reliability services that you can consider. Auto scaling via CloudWatch, you can monitor when to perform the scaling. Event bridge can also be part of this. You should be taking backups while deploying the infrastructure. You can use cloud formation templates, because by using cloud formation you will be quickly able to deploy the service. It will take less time, so your recovery time objective can be reduced by using the cloud formation templates. For backups, you can use S3 buckets to keep the archivals. To save money, you can use glaciers. Route 53 is what I have explained you for doing the failure management. If the primary fails, the traffic will be redirected to the secondary load balancer in another region. So these are the various services that you can use for reliability.
Hey, if you like this video and would like to learn how to get a high paying job on AWS cloud, even as a beginner, or if you're already working in cloud and would like to know how to get at least 30% hike minimum, then I would like to invite you for a free class that I'm doing where we take you onto journey and give you the complete roadmap and including our three-step framework to get a high paying job in AWS cloud. I'm also going to give you all the complete roadmap, including the hands-on lab and the project work you should be doing. Also, some of the common mistakes you might be doing that's stopping you from getting it your dream job, whether you're applying and not struggling to get interview calls, or if you're appearing in the interviews and not getting those jobs as well. If you're interested, go to this URL k21academy.com/AWS02. It's completely free class. Enter your name, email address, phone number, and click on enroll this free class to see you in this free class. Well, that was our expert talking about a reliability pillar, which is the third pillar of a six-part framework or six pillars of AWS well-architected framework. In the next week, we are going to look at the next part, which is performance pillar. So I'll see you next week.